We all know who MrBeast is, but for the two people out there who don't, MrBeast, he's a YouTuber. Well, he's actually the #1 YouTuber on YouTube. He has the most subscribers. I think last time I checked, he was at 100 something million. I don't know. He's really big. He's really big on YouTube. Have you ever taken a look at his thumbnails? They're really interesting. They're really vibrant. So today we're gonna be doing exactly that, remaking his thumbnails just for fun. I've seen a couple of Photoshop artists do this already on YouTube, but I kind of just got here, so I want my turn, so I'm gonna do it today. Looking at his thumbnails, a couple of things I notice is the colors, right? They all have vibrant colors like red, blue, and green. He really uses those colors individually or a combination of them to make them pop and stand out. Another thing I noticed is his thumbnails have a cartoonish look. They kind of don't look realistic, but I think that's the whole point. If you look at his face in his thumbnails, the lighting feels not natural at all. His teeth are super bright. So these are a couple of things I'm gonna have to keep in mind when doing this remake. So the first thumbnail we're gonna start with, because yes, we're doing more than one in this video, is the world's most dangerous trap. So looking at this thumbnail, a couple of things I'm going to need is a circular blade, some rope, some metal textures for the background and for the little thing he's laying on, and a photo of myself. Okay, so with all that, let me take you to Photoshop and show you the process. So the first thing I'm starting with is the face. In MrBeast's thumbnails, his face is really vibrant and smooth. So right now I'm just fixing my face and making it a little bit warmer to kind of match the look of the thumbnail. The next thing I'm gonna do is the teeth. MrBeast has his teeth really white and bright in his thumbnails, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I added some more red tones to my face, my gums, and my lips. Now, right here, I tried to make my shirt white, but I was wearing a black shirt, so it didn't actually work. But I don't know, I really wanted to try to have my shirt white, but I think it would have been better to just shoot the photo with a white shirt. Oh well. So in MrBeast's thumbnail, part of the blade has some motion blur on it, right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm adding motion blur to one part of the blade. Now as for the rope, I found this image here. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting out the pieces of the rope so that I can, well, put the rope on my body. Now after I cut it out, I'm just gonna add some shadows on my body and fix the color of the rope so that it matches, well, the original thumbnail. And then I'm just adding some more shadows. So I look for a metal texture for the background, you know, because in the thumbnail it looks like he's in front of a metal background. I added some metal texture to the blade to add some more details to it. And then now I'm creating the metal thing that he's laying on. I'm adding some shadows. And some highlights on my face. Fixing the thing he's sitting on, added some shadows and some more depth to it. Now on the blade he has this lens flare, so I added that also. And then I'm just gonna add some rips to the arm to make it look like the arm is ripped, exactly like in the thumbnail. After that, I'm adding a camera raw filter, and then we have this. Now this took me roughly about an hour and a half to do, and I'm really proud of how this came out. If you've seen the last video, I was talking about how to make a great image in Photoshop. It usually takes me hours and hours, so I've been really practicing to give myself a 1 hour to 2 hour time limit whenever I'm working in Photoshop. So this is the final image, and let's compare. Now, I'll be honest, I think this came out pretty well. I'm actually satisfied that I was wearing a black shirt, because I don't know, it kind of makes it different. It makes it stand out, and it goes with the vibe. I feel like my thumbnail is a little bit more darker, so the black shirt really goes with that. I like the blade. I put this little lens flare on the blade, as in the thumbnail. In my thumbnail, I think it's a little bit more visible, but that's all right. I do wish my eyes were open a little bit more so we could really see like the white part in my eyes. But yeah, this is what I came up with. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, let's move on to the second thumbnail. So what I'm gonna need for this thumbnail is a photo of the ocean, an image of some ice, some snow, some icebergs, and of course, a photo of myself. So luckily, I already had a red coat similar to MrBeast here in this video. Now the only thing is my coat is actually dark red, but it's not a problem. We can fix that in Photoshop. All right, so now that we got all that, let me take you to Photoshop and show you what I did. All right, so the first thing I started with, similar to the last one, was my face, just making it a little bit smoother and a little bit warmer just to match the vibe of a MrBeast thumbnail. And then I masked myself out. And after that, I adjusted the position, rotation, and scale of my image to match the original or the reference thumbnail. After that, I added some snow and some more snow. I started making my hand or my arm feel like it's actually in the snow by using a brush. After that, I worked on the background. So I found this image of an ocean, some icebergs. Right now, I'm just putting everything in the background, and then I'll worry about making everything fit in. Okay, now I'm working again on my face, adding some shadows and some highlights. Then I'm working on my teeth. Again, it's not a MrBeast thumbnail if the teeth aren't super bright and super white. All right, so after that, I worked on my skin again just to make it a little bit warmer to really match the thumbnail. After that, I worked on my eyes and just some little details. Then it was time for my coat. I just made it a little bit redder because it was kind of like brownish or dark red. So I just made it redder, and then I added some highlights. It ain't a MrBeast thumbnails if there are no highlights. So I added some highlights. I think I added a little bit more highlights than MrBeast actually had in his video or his thumbnail, but it's because I really liked it. Then I'm adding some snow texture on my coat and on my face to kind of make it look like I'm, like I've been in the snow for a while, right? There's snow all over my coat, snow all over my hands, my arms, my hair, and my face. I added the little ice spikes that come out of the nose, of the fingers. That was actually really fun to make. Now MrBeast, he doesn't have them coming out of each finger, so I only added it to 3 fingers just so I could really match the thumbnail. After that, I'm adding the text, day number 2, with a black stroke around it, and then finishing with a camera raw filter. And now we have this. Now that I'm looking at it side by side, I can see that I could have added more details to the background. The shadows in the background feel a little too dark. The snow feels a little too blue, actually. These are just a couple of things I would fix if I were to redo this. I would have the snow be a little less blue and the background have a little bit more details. Now, as for the coat, now my coat is a little bit more red and my face is a little bit more red also. But I like this because it really makes me stand out of the background, right? The background is all blue. The snow is even blue, which is it's not really natural. But yeah, I really like how this came out. Let me know what you think in the comments. So this was really fun to make. Now this image, I believe I did it in 2 hours, but I would say in all they were pretty easy to make, right? Well, it's really easy if you already have a reference, right? If I had to come up with this from scratch, it would have been a little bit more challenging. And here's a fun fact. MrBeast actually said that he spends, you know, anywhere from $10,000 to, I think it was $10,000 to $30,000 per thumbnail. Maybe it was some $5,000 to $10,000. I don't know. I don't remember what the exact number was, but I just know that this man spends thousands of dollars in his thumbnail. So, I mean, that just shows you how thumbnails are important on YouTube and for a YouTube video. All right, so this was thumbnail number 1 and thumbnail number 2. Now go down in the comments, let me know what your favorite remake is. Is it the first one with the blade or the second one in the snow? If you like this video or found it entertaining, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so that you don't miss any more. If you want to watch me do some more Photoshop stuff, you can watch this video over here. I'm sure you're gonna like it. Right here. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.